Hey everybody, it's your man DJ Superjam, DJ League, and today on DJ League Talks, we have a very, very special guest. She goes by the name of Jacci McGhee. This is unbelievable to have this lady here. Everybody knows, one of her biggest songs is made with Keith Sweat, "Make It Last Forever." So, Jacci, welcome. How are you doing today?
Thank you, thank you. I'm good. I'm good. What's good over there? What's good over
Oh
there?
yeah, yeah. We over here just doing our thing with
Right,
DJ
right.
League. So we have like a coalition of DJs from all over the world and a bunch of radio stations that we're dealing with, like 18 right now, and we're continuously getting more. We got them in Brazil, South America, all over Europe. Uh, yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, we're so glad that we could get you on the show today. And yeah, just really interested to hear about you and about what you're doing. And yeah, just what can we expect from you here? What are you working on now?
I um I just dropped a new single that's leading into my EP in January. It's called No More. And it was dropped. When did we drop it? Friday, last Friday.
Mm.
So it's not tomorrow will be a week that it's been out. And I had a song before that I released in June called "Slow Down" that Father MC produced,
Oh
and
wow!
producer Rockwilder did the track.
Woo.
So that was hot.
I heard it. I heard it. I like
Yeah,
it.
you heard "Slow Down."
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we dropped that in June. So that has a video, and then the new one, "No More," has a video. Um, so anybody want to, go to YouTube, you can watch the video. If you want to download the song, it's on all streaming platforms. Um, what I'm doing now is I'm focusing on the EP and bringing myself back because I got out of the industry for some years and I started back putting some songs and stuff out in like 2018, and then I got like sick with my esophagus and it affected my vocal cords. So
Uh-huh.
I lost my voice. And
Mm.
I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Can I cuss? Because, I
Yeah,
slip
yeah, yeah,
sometimes.
yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble.
No, no, no. I mean,
So,
uh,
no, not nothing crazy, nothing crazy. I'm just
don't
saying I
worry.
don't want to
If we
slip.
got to if we got to beep you,
Right.
we'll
I'm
do
just,
that.
I'm just saying I don't want to say nothing, and then be like, uh-oh. Um, but yeah, I lost my voice and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? How do I do this? I can't even promote this song and this video because I don't have a voice. So, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to not sing again. So I didn't put out anything again until 2022, right in the middle of COVID,
Mhm.
and it was like, you could put music out. We didn't. I think that a lot of us, during COVID, I was the person that wasn't scared of nothing. So I moved from Jersey to Atlanta during COVID, and Atlanta was definitely more open. Nobody was hardly wearing masks and all of that,
Mhm.
and I was good with that because I'm like I'm a conspiracy theorist, and conspiracy is conspiracy until it becomes the truth. So I didn't believe in all of that. I thought it was all made up and that they was doing it and killing people. I really believe that still with all my heart. And so I didn't wear a mask. I wore a mask when I would go to the store or taking my daughter to the doctor because she's type 1 diabetic.
Mhm.
So, we had to wear masks, but I didn't wear a mask. And, the people in Atlanta, they didn't wear masks. And yeah, we probably got sick a couple of times. We don't know what we had. I wasn't taking her to get tested. I wasn't getting tested, and she wasn't getting no shots. We did it old school
Mhm.
and prayed and took out, did our lemon tea, our lemongrass tea, our selenium and vitamin C, and it was gone. So, you know, I was definitely that one. I was very, flower child open during COVID, but I was writing
Right.
music then too. And me and my producer friend that I work with, Reese Johnson, and we were like, we're gonna put this joint out. And we did. We were like, we're gonna put it out. And it was called entitled The Riches of the World. And I wrote it because, being in the music industry, you have your times where you make it a whole bunch of money. And then, whoosh, it's gone. Or you lose your deal and the money's gone. And I was with MCA Universal for 8 years. And in that 8 years, I only did 2 albums. They kept putting me on the shelf, and it was, shenanigans. So in between, that's how I got to do Expressions with Salt and Pepper, because my album was finished. So, okay, I'm gonna go back to me doing Make It Last Forever, and then I'll get to Salt and Pepper.
Okay.
What, how I ended up doing Expressions with Salt and Pepper. So I started out with Teddy Riley. We were 19 years old, and we are now both 58. Both of our birthdays are in October. And that's how long we've been knowing each other. He's my brother. And we had a band in New York when we were 19. And then, we did local gigs and stuff. And then the band dispersed. So I was still doing gigs. Teddy was producing stuff somewhere. We didn't know what he was doing. We didn't know how deep it was, this whole creation of New Jack Swing. Right. So I'm doing this gig, and my friend at the time, who ends up becoming my father-in-law, he came to this gig I was singing at, and he was like, I want you to meet our lead singer from my band. And his band was called Jamila, and it was Keith Sweat. So Keith was, Keith was like, I like your voice a lot, and I'm in the studio, I'm working on a record, but he was only working on a single. So at the time, so I was like, okay, he said, well, I want you to come to the studio, so you can sing on some stuff. And I was like, all right, we exchanged numbers or whatever. And I didn't call him back or anything. He kept calling me for about 3 weeks. So finally I said, okay, let me go to the studio. I go to the studio, and Teddy's there. So long story short, me and Teddy looking at each other like, what are you doing here? Well, what are you doing here? And Keith was like, y'all know each other? And, Ted was like, yeah, me and Jackie had a band together. So from that, we recorded Don't Stop Your Love on the Make It Last Forever album. And so that's me on that too.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I'm on like a lot of Keith Sweat stuff.
Oh my goodness. I'm at to go back.
Yeah, the Make It Last Forever album was, done when I was there, so it was all whatever they needed me to sing on, whatever I was there to do. But Make It Last Forever came about after we did our Wanna. They wanted me to try a song. So I was like, okay, I'll try, but they had another singer. So my daughter is like trying to make noodles. Can you take the noodle thing in there? It's making noise. Take it in there to open it. She's so disrespectful on every level. You did have some teenagers. She want to come in here now. She wasn't in here no other time. She want to come now to make some noodles. But anyway, she's diabetic, so she has to get a shot. So she's like, Mommy, I got to get a shot. Yeah. All right, go ahead. So, we were like trying to figure out, he had another singer there who is also a friend of mine, and she was in a band with Keith Sweat. So he was like, well, I want, y'all to try it. So Teddy and Keith's manager was like, we want Jackie to try it first. So I went in, I did it. It was done. It was done. I didn't think it was going to be a hit record. I thought, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I get myself into? Because, Keith's voice is not he doesn't have no crooning voice, you know what I mean? He
Mhm.
has,
Yeah.
he sounds more like Steve Arrington, you know, the walking
Hmm.
down the street, watching
Yeah.
ladies go, you know, he got that, but
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
actually, I didn't know until a few weeks ago that Teddy was the one that talked him into doing the whiny sound. I was like, shut up. I didn't know that.
Oh,
I had
wow.
no idea.
Oh my
So
goodness.
Teddy is the one that kind of pushed him into doing the more whiny sound because it fit with
Yeah.
those tracks that they were doing, you know. And Keith is a great writer. So long story short, again, we ended up doing, you know, the Make It Last Forever album, and it comes out and it hits. Keith was actually working for Wall Street, and I was working at ABC. I was at ABC Radio when I ended up quitting, but we didn't both of us said we're not quitting our jobs until um, you know, the record hits. It
Yeah.
have to at
Yeah.
least go, you know, go first before we bounce. So it went like that, went so fast. If we
Oh,
were
wow.
out on the road and everything just started going crazy. So the album, you know, blew up. Next thing we know, the record's platinum. I'm like, oh my
Mhm.
gosh. And it was fast. I mean, fast. And so the first single was Don't Stop Your Love. The second single was I Wanna, and then Make It Last Forever. Make It Last Forever didn't have a video because we were on the road, and it was doing so well. It topped at #2 on the R&B Billboard charts. And it just kept going. And you know, the record label was like, well, y'all on the road already, so we don't need a video. I think that was a mistake. We should have had a video because
Mhm.
at least people would know who I am and what I look like. You know, people are like, who is this woman? Who is this person? And they really don't know except the ones that followed me from doing key stuff to my own stuff. But yeah, we did the Make It Last Forever album. It blew up, you know, and then we worked on the second record. The second record, I already had a deal with MCA Universal Records, so I had to start my album. And Teddy and Keith both were supposed to produce my record, and they started arguing, and then it was like
Mhm.
they both got on my nerves, and I was like, "Why are y'all gonna do this on my record? Why?" You know, the whole dramatic nonsense, and they
Wow.
didn't end up working together on my record. But Keith did another song on. It was like a duet on my album. One of my singles, it was called "It Hurts Me," and it did really well. You know, here too. I think it did pretty good overseas as well.
Mhm.
Um, and so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got,
I heard that it hurts me.
yo, you heard It
That
Hurts
was
Me?
not too long ago though, right?
No, It Hurts Me came out back in the day. It came out in 92,
Oh.
93,
Okay.
93.
Oh, okay.
Um, but what happened, you know, in between, I got a record deal. You know, ended up doing a deal with MCA Universal, and um, my record was finished. It was completed in January 1990, and I had already gotten a phone call to do the song. Herbie called me. Herbie Lovebug called me. Producer Herbie Lovebug called me,
Hmm.
and he was like, "Jack, I need you to fix a record for me. You know, you and Stanley Brown, who we both were managed by the same person. And Stanley is the producer that did Don't Wake Me, I'm Dreaming with Christopher Williams. He did a
Wow.
lot of other stuff. So Stanley and I went in and we call ourselves gonna fix this record because it was the first time that Salt was producing. She wasn't there, so I don't know what kind of producer she was
Wow.
doing because the producer's there when you produce
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
was not there. So it was just me and Stanley and Herbie. So Herbie just here, Jack, do what you can to this, please. And Stan, I need you to, So I said, you know what? Let me think. What would Shaka do? What would Shaka Khan do on this? And I was sneaking and doing it because I wasn't supposed to do it. And because I ran it by my manager and record label, and they were like, no, because they didn't want to give me a point on the record. So, I had little coins back then. So I was like, let them. I was like, Herbie, you can use my vocals. Don't worry about it. I wish I never did that now. But I took whatever lyrics that they had and I added lyrics to it, and I arranged the vocals because there was no vocals. There was no arrangement of anything. It was just the raps. And it was a little, like, a little hum of a melody. And I was like, that ain't it. We're not doing that. Mm-hmm. So I changed it into what I wanted it to be. And that's what you hear on the record. The express yourself. You gotta be you and only you. Like I did it as if Shaka would do it. Shaka Khan would do it.
Wow.
And I got in trouble, but it was Salt and Pepper's first #1 record on Billboard, on the Billboard hip hop charts. It was their first #1 record. And I thought Push It was. And they were like, nope, Expressions is the first #1. And it was #1 for 8 weeks. And it went platinum. And now I think it's a double platinum single. So it went just off the chart.
You got me saying wow the whole time. I'm sitting here like a little kid, just like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. No, this is great.
So it's, it was like, oh, okay. So after I did that, I'm still on hold with MCA. My record's done, but they're not putting me out. So they're putting everybody else out because everybody was on MCA. So they had Bobby Brown, who was a good friend of mine. BBD, New Edition as a whole, because my manager managed me and BBD. And when I met him, he was managing New Edition as a whole. Then they had Patti LaBelle, Gladys, Jody Watley, Stephanie Mills. Oh my gosh, they had so many artists. And then we had the Uptown side. So Uptown was down the hall. And Andre Harrell started managing me for 2 seconds. And so you had all the Uptown artists. So you had Jodeci, Albie Shore, Jeff Ray, Heavy D, Mary J, but Mary came a little later. Yeah. Trying to think who else was on Uptown. So many daggone artists on Uptown. So you got all these artists. And MCA couldn't put out everybody at one time. So who got pushed back? Me. So when they pushed me back, I went out on the road with the rock group Toto. So from 1990 to 92, I sung with Toto, and I was out on the road singing Hold the Line, Africa, Rosanna, Georgie Porgy, all the hits, Getting Paid.
Yeah.
So I didn't stop, I just kept going.
Yeah.
I was like, and so now I'm sitting and we got platinum record, with Make It Last Forever. We got platinum, record with Salt and Pepper. Then I'm out with Toto, and my record is still not out. So finally, in 92, they were like, oh, we're going to drop your record now. So they dropped my record, and Skeezer was my first single. And the video goes crazy in the States because Video Music Box in the States, was really, really, what do you call it? That was the thing. That was the stuff to do. So Video Music Box, it was like my video was #1 on the box. They call it the box. It was #1 on the box. Mm-hmm. I don't even know what it did on the charts because I never looked at any of that stuff. And it was doing good, but I'm like, this is not me. I got pushed into doing that. And Herbie Lovebug produced it on me. And he rapped on it, and his brother Steve, but the song just wasn't me to me. We had fun doing the video. Video was a little risque, that's when they was trying to push me into that lane that I probably would have ended up being like a Beyonce, for that time, because it was risque and it was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
outfits
yeah.
and the this and that. And that's something I was not interested in doing. So, then they put out It Hurts Me. And It Hurts Me did really well. And that's what Keep Sweat. And it did really, really well. And then they were about to release my third single. And they said, oh, we want you to go back in the studio. So I went back in the studio. I did a whole new record. Jermaine Dupri produced 3. I'm trying to remember. Keith did something. I forget, 1 or 2. I had Mark Gordon from Levert. Trying to think who else was on the record. The guy that I work with now, Reese, he was producing me back then. So he had 3 on the record. And I'm trying to think who else was on it. I'm missing somebody. Chucky Booker. Chucky Booker did 1, and he did a remix of another one. So the second album was fire. Never came out. I finished it. Everything was done, mastered, everything. I was about to do the photos for the cover, and they dropped 15 of us off the label.
So it never came out?
It never came out.
And where's that music like with your lyrics on it and everything?
Well, they own the masters for another 5 years.
You own your lyrics though, right?
The BS about it, they don't really own your lyrics, because I can take the lyrics of what I wrote and put it to anything new.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I can.
I
can put it to something new, but we can't use the tracks at all.
Yeah, of course.
And they, the crazy part about that with the record labels is, they kind of try to own your life. So before, it was 30 years that they own your masters.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for some unknown, strange reason, it's 35 years now. I said, why would my 30 years come up? Now it's all of a sudden 35 damn years. I just want to know that. So
I'm on that.
I can't. And they re-released my album last year. They did a whole digital remix album
of the first album.
Of my first album.
Mm.
They remastered it, and they put the remixes on it and everything. So, and they re-released it in Japan on CD. And I'm sitting there, well, how come I don't see a check? That's all I want to know. I ain't seen a check from the first album, and I damn sure ain't seen nothing since last summer.
Mm.
And I'm at this point, like, I'm gonna have to audit Universal Music, because y'all doing something, because I ain't got a check. And my album went almost gold. It was a little under gold. So if y'all sold, less than 500,000, a little less than 500,000 at $15 a pop, there's no way it shouldn't have gotten some money.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten a penny. And even though, they were like, oh, you're 1.1 million in the hole. But I was like, but y'all made about $5 million, so kick rocks with that. When they dropped me, they were trying to hold me under that contract, so I wouldn't be able to go to anybody else, or people would have to buy me out. And I was pregnant with my first son, and I was like, nope. I told my attorney, tell them to kick rocks with all of that. And they kept putting me on hold. They stressed my whole life out. I said, I will act a whole fool. I was like, I will act a whole fool and say, I'm under distress. I'm this and this and that. And the doctor put me on bed rest, everything, because I'm pregnant. Like, I was like, I will act this out. Don't get it twisted. So they let me out of my contract, and they gave me $20,000. Still, I'm like, where's my money? All these years, I have not made a penny off of my album.
So there's like not with ASCAP or any of that stuff, like where
no, I never got an ASCAP.
They didn't tell you about going in there, about doing that stuff. about
I
registering
no, I'm
your
signed
lyrics and
to,
stuff.
I'm signed up to ASCAP. I've been a member of ASCAP since I started doing music. Um, Never got a check once from ASCAP. No
Really?
lie. Not one. Not one.
Keep us up to date with your new stuff that you're bringing out, and that we can get it out to these stations. We have
Okay.
the show. What we're doing with the show now is that we are offering, not even offering, we have like a weekly show that happens on different stations, and then
Uh-huh.
it'll be like this DJ doing his hour or this DJ, but then in between them shows we do the show.
Okay.
And the show is going to have like snippets of interviews. It's going to have old, like the old school banger. It's going to have some remixes. It's going to have some new stuff, and like pick of the month and all this stuff. And that's going to be a really creative and well organized show that's going to be
Okay.
happening, and that's going to be coming on all those stations. And we got a station in Las Vegas also that we're doing stuff on. So there's a
Oh,
couple
that's
of stations
dope. That's
around.
dope.
There's a couple of stations like if you look at the DJ League website, you can see a map
Mhm.
in there that shows you where all the DJs are. Also another map
Right. I
that shows
did
you where
see
the
that. I
radio.
saw that.
Yeah. So it's a lot going on, and it's a good coalition.
Oh, that's dope.
They work hard. Uh, I got pulled into it now, so I'm working hard. So
Right.
I got to keep doing it,
You
because
gotta keep doing it. So
these
who the person that sent me to you,
yeah,
um,
DJ Absolute.
is that who it was?
That's DJ Absolute. Yeah,
I,
that's
I just know that it
Mata
says
is his name.
DJ, it says DJ League on the thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't know the name, anything, but we've been going back and forth, and because I guess he was doing the bio stuff with this. He have a son or something. Somebody play soccer, and he was like, he got to take the baby to soccer.
Oh,
Um,
I don't know.
so I didn't know if it was a
He got a
chick
son. He
or.
got an 18-year-old son. I know that because he
Oh,
said it's his
okay,
birthday.
okay. I
Good
didn't
Lord.
know. I had no idea. But man, I'm grateful. I'm grateful because he reached out to me, and I'm just grateful to be in this. I do have and it's going to go on my EP. It was out already last year. Um, I did a song called "Riches of the World," and I did a remix with Chubb Rock,
Oh my
and
goodness.
I think you would love it. So if you can pull up, under my name, pull up Jacci McGhee featuring Chubb Rock, "Riches of the World." And it'll come up. You can hear it. You probably want to cut that joint up every which way you can cut it.
Don't
Cut it up.
don't threaten me with a good time, because I love to cut it up.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
That's so. I love that you live in Germany. I love that. Love it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always wanted to live in Europe, and my daughter's sister. She has a little sister because my husband cheated, and that's what my single is about.
Oh my God.
We get a
You're
divorce,
an
but
open book, ain't you? And
oh, thank
I've
you.
been playing your songs, but I'm going into the new stuff because
Right,
I heard your voice and I was like, wait a minute, before I knew anything. And I just listened
right.
to the first sing and I was like, wait a minute. Oh my goodness. That's a real voice. And it's so good. And
Oh, thank
to,
you,
to
thank
find out
you.
all the background is just amazing. But
Oh, thank you.
uh, well, Jacci, thank you so much today.
Oh no,
I
thank
know we
you.
done gone overtime. You 13 minutes late to your
No, that's okay. It's okay. I'm like, I'm getting out. I'm walking out the door right after we get off. So
all
I'm
right.
okay. I'm
Okay.
fine. Thank you
Cool,
so
man.
much though for reaching out to me. And we never know what all this stuff is about to take all of us to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
this is
let's
it.
go.
This is it.
That's all we can say is let's go.
All right.
Hey guys, this is Jacci McGhee, vocalist on Make It Last Forever. You're rocking with the DJ League.